I did a lot of things wrong when I first started off fitness. But there's a couple of things I absolutely got right, and that is mastering the most important exercises to master calisthenics and also get strong in weightlifting. You can absolutely achieve whatever type of goals you got with just calisthenics or just weightlifting, but if you combine the two, you will reach the most. So let me explain to you the 5 exercises that you need to master calisthenics as a beginner. And all these 5 exercises is what I used to do consistently in order to actually see carryover in weightlifting and to become a stronger street lifter right now. So listen, the first exercise that I had to master is the pull-up, and more specifically talking the weighted pull-up. The weighted pull-up is something that everybody needs. It's not just weightlifters and it's not just calisthenics athletes. Everybody needs the weighted pull-up. Listen, the weighted pull-up builds immense upper body pulling strength. Have you ever seen a guy who is very strong in weighted calisthenics and has a small back or has weak back lifts? The guy who is strong in weighted calisthenics pull-ups is also very strong in other weightlifting moves where he uses his back, just like deadlifts, just like lat pull down, any type of rowing machine. I can probably max out on every one of them. The reason why is because I'm so strong at weighted pull-ups. The first thing that I did is actually focus on the body weight pull-up first. I used to do very high reps. Do I recommend this to everybody? No, because it takes a different type of willpower and it also takes a different type of recovery process in order to actually recover from high rep pull-ups. So the first thing that I would recommend to you is apply weightlifting metrics to your pull-ups. So instead of doing what I used to do, for example, EMOM, for 50 minutes straight, which means every minute on the minute, I would do 10 pull-ups every single minute on the minute for 50 minutes straight. That's 500 pull-ups in 50 minutes. Listen, that's not what you have to do, but that's just what I used to do because I was passionate about the pull-up. But something that you should do is progress all the way towards about 10 sets of 10 pull-ups very consistently. If you can do that unbroken every single set, pretty minimal rest in between, you're probably ready to move on to the weighted calisthenics pull-up, the weighted pull-up. A lot of people, they think, okay, once I got 10 pull-ups or once I got 20 pull-ups, I can now move on to the weighted pull-up. Listen, a lot of beginners make this very crucial mistake. What I always tell them, do not go to the weighted pull-up or even other weighted calisthenics exercises before you actually achieved a lot of body weight pull-ups. If you can do a lot of body weight pull-ups, that means you're ready to go to weighted. A lot of people say, as soon as I got 5 pull-ups, now I can add 2.5 kg and do 3 sets of 3. Listen, bro, you can make progress like that, of course, but you're unbalanced as fuck. You need to focus on mastering the body weight first before you go to the weighted. Body weight is the most important thing that somebody can master in the first place. The thing that I used to do, even though I could do weighted pull-ups a long time ago already, I still would stick to the body weight pull-ups a lot of the times. The reason why is because the fundamentals make you stronger. When you focus on body weight pull-ups for a long time, even though you can do weighted pull-ups, I still focus on the body weight pull-up a lot of the times. The reason why is because I want to get stronger in body weight as well. The thing about weighted pull-ups that most people do not understand is that when you get strong at weighted pull-ups, you're automatically going to be able to rep out high numbers on the body weight pull-up. The only thing that will be able to hold you back is eventually your endurance. So you'll be out of breath. But you can do a lot of reps. Your muscles are used to crazy loads when it comes to a pull-up. So eventually switching to a bodyweight pull-up, you can definitely rep out over 20 pull-ups if you're getting strong at the weighted pull-up. So the weighted pull-up is the #1 exercise that somebody should focus on when it comes to pulling strength. Exercise number 2, the second most important, the weighted dip. The weighted dip is arguably the upper body king. A lot of people call it the upper body king. It's like the upper body squat. It's like the squat for your upper body, and I totally agree. The best thing that I could ever do in my beginning years of calisthenics, of working out in general as a lifter, as a calisthenics athlete, is focusing on the pull-up and the dip. The weighted dip, which we're going to talk about right now, is something that got me so much carryover in my lifting phase right now, because nowadays I lift a lot of weights as well. I'm a hybrid athlete, but I lift a lot of weights too, right? Bodyweight dips and eventually weighted dips got me carryover to the overhead press, got me carryover to the bench press, it got me carryover to push-ups, and it got me a huge chest. Listen, bro, look at the guy, look at me, for example, but look at other athletes who can rep out 100 kg, 225 on the weighted dip, 5 plates, and they can rep that shit out. Look at how they're looking, bro. Look at their shoulders, look at their triceps, look at their chest, look at their strength with other exercises. All the athletes, all the street lifters, or all the calisthenics athletes who can do high numbers on the weighted dip can all do high numbers on the bench bench press. It has crazy carryover, although when you focus on the bench press alone, it won't really have a crazy carryover to the dip. So that's something that you gotta keep in mind. If you're a lifter and you focus on bench press, don't expect your weighted dip to be high as well. Of course, you'll be better than a beginner. It's not gonna be the same carryover as a weighted dip athlete would have to his bench press. It's gonna be different. I have never tested my 1 rep max bench press, but I'm sure I'm not that weak at bench press. The reason why is because I prioritize dips for many years. Then we have exercise number 3. And also, I didn't make this mistake. I didn't skip the push-up. Push-up is one of the most fundamental exercises that an athlete can do. A lot of people think that push-ups are too easy, but let me tell you, you're training wrong. Doing push-ups like you're doing your bench press. That's not how it's supposed to be. If you do bodyweight push-ups and you don't have a hard time breathing after, you're doing your push-ups wrong. The reason why is because push-ups should be performed, especially with bodyweight, with crazy amounts of volume. Because if you don't do that, the load is gonna be too little. If you're gonna be doing 3 sets of 12 push-ups, you're not gonna be doing shit for your chest and your upper body strength. You gotta able to push the limits further and further when it comes to the push-up in order to actually build your upper body up. Push-up took me from this to this. You gotta understand, I was doing push-ups, pull-ups, and dips. Mostly push-ups. Push-ups was the most fundamental exercise that I used to do. I used to only basically hit the basic push-up. I used to fuck around with a little bit of variations here and there, like the decline push-up and high rep incline push-ups and diamond push-ups, of course. But the fundamental, normal, basic push-up is what got me my beginning chest gain. Of course, I was able to elevate my chest more with additional exercises like the incline bench press and weighted dips and flies, which I don't even do nowadays, but whatever. Of course, you can level it up like that to add more upon it. But if you want to build a big chest right now and see pretty fast results, is by doing high frequency push-ups. High frequency, high volume push-up is the game changer, bro. Nobody knows this. It's very underrated. A lot of people think that push-ups is only for beginners, but push-ups is for the most advanced athletes as well. You just have to do them correct. And I'm not talking about correct when it comes to the form. I'm talking about how much volume are you actually putting in your push-ups. There was a period in my time, in my training journey, where I was literally doing over 500 to 1,000 push-ups every day. And I was 15 back then. And I was gaining so much muscle mass on my chest that a lot of people was questioning my chest. Like, a lot of people was looking at my chest like, yo, you're 15 years old. Everything is like pretty normal when it comes to your body, but your chest is fucking huge. And the reason why is because I always hit push-ups. I literally spammed them for years straight. So if you're a beginner and you want to look bigger when it comes to your chest, or you want to look bigger overall, start performing the push-up frequently, especially high volume. From high volume, you can start doing weighted push-ups. But even with weighted push-ups, I still prefer higher volume and higher reps than lower reps. Then exercise number 4, and this is the Pike push-up. The Pike push-up is basically the overhead press of calisthenics. So when you look at weightlifting, you have the barbell overhead press, right? But if you're a calisthenics athlete, let's say you don't have a gym, let's say you don't want to do weights and you only want to stick to body weight training, gotta do an overhead press for your shoulders. The reason why is because most athletes are lacking on this area, including me. Overhead pressing should be one of the priorities if you're actually starting to do fitness, train, build muscle, build strength, whatever you want to do, is you should have an overhead press in your routine. But if you don't do weights, or you don't like to do weights, what are you gonna do instead? You're gonna do Pike push-ups. It's basically an upside down push-up. This is something that a friend of mine, me, used to spam back in the days as well. We used to do a big routine for 10 sets, a lot of exercises, and there was always a Pike push-up in there. And we knew that neglecting the Pike push-up is something that you gotta avoid. Do not neglect an overhead press. Even when you're a weightlifter and you got all the equipment to do an overhead press, do them. At least have one overhead press in your whole routine weekly. The reason why is because a lot of people neglect their overhead press and they're gonna suffer from it when it comes to their dips, when it comes to their bench press, and they're gonna have small shoulders. This is something that I used to struggle with. The reason why is because I hated overhead pressing. I still don't really like it, but I have to include it to up my shoulder size, up my shoulder strength, and to become better at dips, because that's my priority. So let's get into number 5, and that is the muscle up. People think muscle up is just a party trick, right? Well, let me tell you, you're fucking wrong. You are probably a very ignorant weightlifter who thinks that the muscle up is just a party exercise. Listen, bro, the muscle up is a full upper body exercise that can be used to gain strength, to gain muscle, to look better, and to also gain insane amount of explosiveness. In the calisthenics world, we know that weighted muscle ups and normal body weight muscle ups is actually crucial in order to build strength. We all do the muscle up. We all perform muscle ups, body weight, and weighted. The reason why is because it's so effective to build pulling strength. The reason why you think that muscle up is a party trick is because you perform it wrong. You do a muscle up poorly, bro. Your muscle up looks like shit. That's why you think it's a party trick. You're not using a real strength for it. But if you do a strict muscle up without no swing and you just perform the muscle up as a pull up and a dip, then you're going to be reaping the benefits of it. Then you're going to be seeing your back grow from it. Then you're going to be actually seeing that the muscle up is not just a party trick and it's a real exercise used to gain strength and muscle. So do not skip the muscle up. Now let me tell you why you shouldn't get into the muscle up right away as a beginner, but it is something that you should master along the way. Bodyweight muscle up, and especially the weighted muscle up, is an exercise that is so difficult, requires so much strength that you need to be advanced for this. I do want you to achieve your muscle up as a beginner, but I do not want you to fully train your muscle up. I want you to focus on the pull up first. As I said, if you can do 10 sets of 10 pull-ups, then focus on your weighted pull up and then start slowly going towards muscle up training if you want to achieve your first muscle up. But should you keep on doing muscle ups over and over? Then I don't think so. The reason why is because you should first focus on pull-ups and master that. It's like learning a language, not even being able to speak that language fully, and then automatically you're gonna go to the next language. You're gonna learn French or whatever the fuck. It doesn't make any sense. Stick to the first language and learn that until you can fully speak it. Same thing with the pull-up and the muscle-up. Pull-up is one language. The muscle-up is a whole different language. Focus on that when you got this down. That's something that you gotta keep in your mind. Pull-ups and dips should be the first priority before you move on to the muscle-up. A lot of people wanna go straight to the muscle-up. It's something that you should avoid. Go to the muscle-up when you master the first two, which is the pull-up and the dip. So with that being said, these 5 exercises is something that you should prioritize. Now listen, if you want to implement these 5 exercises into your routine daily, I have 3 programs for you available right now. The link is in the bio. I have an intermediate program, a beginner program, and a hybrid program focusing on weighted calisthenics and weightlifting combined in order to build strength and muscle. If that's something that you're interested in, go to the link in my bio. Get that right now. It's cheaper than it was before. Go get it before the price goes up again, and I'll see you in the next video.